Hello Flosstube! I am back for my non-regular update video of a bunch of my WIPs that I've been working on. This will be generally a WIP parade. I've been doing this every 6 months, every year, however much I feel like, and that's how that goes. I am JuliaB.in.stitches here on Flosstube and mostly on Instagram, so you can find me there. Thank you for coming and hanging out for a little bit. I love this community and I love seeing what everybody's stitching on. I'm mostly a full coverage cross stitcher. So that is mostly what you will see. If you have any questions, pop them down in the comments and I will try to get to them. I've been doing this for about 2 years, so I have some info, but I certainly don't know everything. There's a lot of people on here that are much more experienced, but I have a lot of fun with it. So that's the main thing. Yeah, so let's start off. I have several piles around here, so forgive me as we get going. So the first project I want to show you, I just took off the Q-snap, so it's a little bit, everything is going to be off the Q-snap and wrinkled, and that's how life is. So this is Reading Time by Randall Spangler. It is the mini. It's from Heaven and Earth Designs. I started this back in April of 2021, and I'm now at 61.78%. And I haven't seen this actually full out for a really long time. Oh my goodness, that looks so cool. I gotta remember how to do this. There we go. Wow. Oh, this looks so cool. And down here I have several of my favoriteest needle minders. Oops, these guys got stuck together. So this one is from Cotton and Clay UK. It just says Stab It, and it's one of those little heart candies, and it just makes me laugh. This is from Minnie's shop. I post all about these a lot just because I love them, not because I get anything from them. This one, this little dragon that is sleeping. Oh, what is her? So I'm not quite sure what happened. I may have to learn how to stitch videos together. I'm a little nervous about that. So anyways, Reading Time. That is where we are at, and it just, the details are just so great in it. I still think the acorn lanterns are my favorite, along with the books, the tree helping to hold up the books for the birds and stuff. It's just the best. Again, this is at almost 62%. So, and I've been working on it for several years now. I didn't realize that was on there. Oops. And I just got this needle minder from a Grandma Girl Designs on Etsy. It just cracks me up because it's one of the little blue cookie tins. So it does open, but it's pretty stiff. So you could put your little warts in there if you wanted. So I'm going to try to put that over there. Try not to dump everything. So that is where that one is at. I've got these generally in the order that I've been stitching them, but we'll see how they go. The next one I have is Carnival by Carolyn Manning. That's what it will look like when it's finished. That is where I am currently. Oh, no, that's not. Let's see. This is up. That's where I am. I think I'm about 30% on that one, so that's kind of fun. Getting somewhere on that one. Some of these I have not worked on a whole lot. Some of them I have not done WIP Go this year. I've just been wanting to stitch on what I want to stitch on, and so that means I'm stitching on the things that I started more recently. So you'll see things that I've gotten more done on. because I started it more recently. The next one is Purity, and that is a mini max color, which is a dumb idea, but anyways, mini max color. I believe it's by Joan. Oh goodness, who is the art by? Joan Marie, charted by Heaven and Earth. This one is one I'm doing for my daughter. I am currently 20.6% done on this one. So it's some pretty significant confetti, as you can tell, but I really enjoy it. And I've switched, actually you can see it really nicely on here, if I can get this folded out to a nice spot. I've switched to a different method of stitching. I can't remember if I've talked about it before, but Thread the Needle on YouTube, I believe, and My Stitch Diary on Instagram. She just has this really nice video of explaining how she does it, and it's a diagonal stitching, cross country within the diagonal, and then I also add parking because I really like to park. So you can see that nicely up here where I'm working in one of these diagonals and kind of parking in the next one. Sometimes I stitch until I run out of that color. Sometimes I stitch it and then park it when it's gonna not be for a while. So it varies how I do it, but it really just works for my brain. I know the hanging threads drive people bonkers, but I think you need to stitch how it makes you happy, and that is how it makes me happy. So that's how that goes. Going through my notebook here, a lot of these I have not worked on or finished. Okay, do I have, according to my notes, the next one I have that I started is the Grand Library, and of course that is going to be a team bedspread, as those who are full coverage stitchers will know. This is the Grand Library, and I have started up here with this dragon. So if you see how tiny that piece is, and then you'll see how big the piece. This is I will not finish it in my lifetime, but that's okay. I really enjoy stitching it. It's just a gorgeous, fun thing to stitch. The fabric is slightly gigantic. Bear with. So that is where I am on that one. I have not picked this one up for a while, but of course, as soon as I get everything out, I'm going to be like, oh, I need to work on this. I really love it. So, oh, it's so fun to look at. I am at, I think, a whole 3% on this. No, not even. 2.8% to be precise. Not even 3%, but that's all right. That is the Grand Library by Amy Stewart, Heaven and Earth Designs. That one is on 20 count. Easy guide. Basically everything I do is on 18 or 20 count, usually 2/1 full cross. If it's tent, I'll let you know. There, I do have a couple that I'm attempting to do on tent. The next one is a different designer. It is Charting Creations. This is Daydream Sea Turtles. I believe this is by Sheena Pike. Sorry, I gotta show you what the whole thing will look like. Practicing. So that's Daydream Sea Turtles. It's so fun. There's a bunch of us working on this one. Angie Slowly Crafts, Peace, Love and Stitches, several others. So this is where, that is where I'm at on Daydream Sea Turtles, which is super fun. Let's move. I'm nearly to the sea turtle's eye on there, so that is getting so close. I love how her shell is turning out. That is so neat. Oh, look. Here we go. More technical difficulties. The next one I have is Mini Mountain Cabin. This is by, that's a very good question. Dominic Davison, charted by Heaven and Earth. I'm doing this as a Sal with Lydia's Leisurely Stitches on Instagram. I started this for her birthday a couple years ago. I am now at 15.543%. I am doing extreme cross country on this one because I wanted to try it and it seemed like a fun one to do. Oh, I didn't show you what it looks like. Hang on. Sorry. It's a mountain with a cabin. There you go. That's mini mountain cabin. It's beautiful. This one just seemed fairly well suited to extreme cross country, and I really am pleased with how it has turned out. It is turning out so far. So some of the colors I'm doing have, you know, 2,000, 3,000 stitches of that color, and some of them I have done that are, you know, the lower number ones. So kind of switching back and forth. It's a really fun one to work on, but then I don't work on other things when I just work on that. So yeah, that's how that goes. Next one I have is Cardinal Family. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I won some fabric from JuliaB.in.stitches, which is amazing. She does, she has the sewingshop.ca, and she hand dyes fabric and makes project bags and is generally an amazing full coverage stitcher and is just cool gal. I won a piece of fabric from her, which is this gorgeous thing. And I said, you know, I really would like to try this this pattern on there, and I would like to not do a lot of the background. Can you kind of dye it to match the background of what the pattern would be? So that's what she did for me. So this is where we are currently. Mr. Cardinal. Actually, I think that might be Mrs. Cardinal, but Mr. Cardinal, who knows? Anyways, I love it. I just, just delicious. Is a ton of little confetti things. But that's right. So that's where that one is. I'm gonna keep this one up here. That's by Paine Free Crafts. Janet Steyer is the artist. Not used to doing this anymore. And I am 4.75 maybe %, but I'm ditching the background, so who knows how far I actually am on that one. I have this Dragon Guardian piece that I'm doing for, I have several of these. I'm doing this for my daughter. She sees things and then wants to work on them. Anyways, it's just really sweet. It reminds me of her physically as well. She's just an imaginative, sweet kid. Oh dear, so this is where I am. So far with that one. It's just sweet. I need to get back to this one. It stitches up super fast. I'm also not doing the background on this one just because for fun, I think. I'm at 12% so far, but I don't have, I'm not stitching a lot of it. Next one I didn't really work on. Ooh, then we have Mini Coffee Sloth is what I call her. This is another one that I'm working on with Angie's Lily Crafts. Or we're just working on the same one, we're not specifically doing it together. This is by Sheena Pike. This is what was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So no talkie before coffee, says this slothy. That is how that is. Actually, I've gotten some pretty decent progress on this one. I think this is on 18 count again. All my threads. I'm getting the top and some of the top of her glasses. The top of her head is getting really close to done. And then we can start moving down a little bit. That's a really fun stitch. But the browns do kind of get old after a while, but it's all right. So that's where that one is. Where am I on that one? 19%. Then I tried out an ink circles for the first time. So ink circles is more of a kind of a combination of full coverage and sampler style a little bit. If find it in here. Where did you go? It seems to have disappeared out of, oh, there you are. Half the fun. So it's all about traveling, hot air balloons, buses, trains, airplanes. I got a piece of 32 count Lugana in Exotic Orchid because a cross-stitch store was going out of sale, so I decided to grab this and try 32 count. I'm doing this 2/2 with a really pretty thread that I do not have written down of what it is, but it's really pretty. So that's where I am so far. Not super fast, but I have to wear magnifiers with this. Like, I can do 20 count okay. I've realized I can do 25 all right. Man, 32, I am on a struggle bus. Next one is one of the ones that I just have not been able to put down and have been stitching on all of the time. Can I interest you in everything all of the time? Come on, come on, come on, come on. So this is a pattern from Unconventional Cross Stitch. The artist is Angela Westerman, and it is called Origin. And this really needs to focus because it is such a cool mount. Anyways, it's this turtle with the world on his back. It just, like, the details in it are just stunning, and it's kind of this cool combination between fantasy and steampunk, and oh, this is my jam. I started this last year at a retreat in Salt Lake City, which was super fun. Stitch West, if you've not heard of it, Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm north of there, so it was fun to go down, not too far of a flight for me. Anyway, so I started this there. This is on 18 count. We're at 2/1. I am at 3.67%. I started midway down on the left. So there's some of these, the stripes and stuff from the shell that's coming in, and it just is so cool. And some more of my favorite needle minders. These ones are space related too. Doctor Who, a rocket, and a turtle going through space, of course. And my kids insisted the hedgehog needed to be on there. So, you do what you can. So that one is at 3.67%. I really, really enjoy it. Then we have one of my few samplers that I'm working on. This is called Heart of Winter by Little Dove Designs. That's not what it looks like because we need the PDF. Here we go, because it has backstitching, and Pattern Keeper does not love backstitching. It's sweet. I live in a place that has a decent amount of winter, so this was going to be my work on it when it snows piece. And as you can see, it snowed a lot, so I've got a decent amount of work on it. I got this fabric from Live and Dye LA. It's a 16 count opalescent, and it's called On Thin Ice, and it is gorgeous, and I have a lot of it, so I may have enough to do something else with it. Anyways, that is where I'm at for Heart of Winter, which is pretty exciting. That's probably a third done. It's really pretty. I like that. I have not done any of the back stitching yet, but that's right. And of course, the opalescent, so it's sparkly. Again, Live and Dye fabric, LA fabric, just gorgeous and nicely serged and everything. I got this fabric at the retreat in Salt Lake, so that was really fun. It was really nice to be able to touch and feel the fabric and look at the colors. The next one that I started was the 2024 Haid Sal. I have kind of put that to the side for now. I will discuss in a little while about that. I started another ink circles because it's the year of the dragon. So I decided to start elemental dragons. This is on a 25 count Silver Moon Lugana, and I always get to this and go, which side is up? I don't know if it really matters. But Silver Moon Lugana, elemental dragons. I'm using Color and Cotton threads and also M&M Studios, and I had a bag of it somewhere of all my threads. Anyways, they're kind of these blues and grays. I'd really love to do a whole kind of series in samplers in these kinds of blues and teals, but I have such a hard time deciding what color should go where, and so then I go back to my full coverage because I don't have to decide and it's all decided for me. So there is some of that. Let's see. We're getting into some of these that I haven't written down, which is not good. Oh, that's not. That is something I'm putting to the side. Oh, this is sweet. So going back to the retreat that I was at. Oh, what is her name? Satsuma Street was one of the designers that was there. And so they gave us these sweet little pink fawn, Christmas fawn charts. Actually, it was a whole kit. And so my daughter saw, I started working on it. My daughter saw it and was like, I want to do it. So this is not my stitching. This is my daughter's stitching. She's 11 and a half. It is the cutest thing. She did all the beading and the back stitching all on her own and cut it out. I'm a proud mama. What can I say? Anyways, it's super, super sweet. It's a little ornament. Anyways, it has a lot of meaning for me. So I'm super excited to have that up this year. Speaking of my kids, I have several projects that I have started at different times. This one is a little tiny cat. I don't even know if I have a good PDF of what it looks like. It's a little like cat in space. Oh, these aren't good because it kind of, that's the pattern. I don't want to show you too closely. Anyways, again, working on that for my daughter. And then for my boys, I'm doing each an initial for them. So this one has animals, and it's about 60% done. And then this one has bees. And I have changed out the background color to be a gradient, and that actually looks really pretty cool. Like it's a little more obvious closer, but I think it works out pretty well. So that one's probably closer to 65, 70% done. So I pull those out every once in a while and work on them, but they don't get a ton of time. Then we have one that is, I'm working on this because my kid's great-grandmother gave it to me because it was in her collection. So it's not my taste so much, but for right now, I'm working on it. Anyways, Goldfinches by a Heritage Collection by Wild Wings, maybe? I don't know. It came with a kit. She bought it in, sometime early 2000s, so it's not super old, but anyways, it's been making her very happy that I bring it over and work on it sometimes. So sometimes that's what you need to do. So there's one of the Goldfinches. And this is very hard because you have to work on a paper chart, and I don't work on paper charts at all. I do all of my stitching on Pattern Keeper for the most part. So it's a good brain exercise to say, okay, how do I work on this thing? Oh, here's here's all the threads that I was using for various threads and colors that I have. And the last one, I think that I started on my birthday this year, is the Amazing Animal Kingdom by Heaven and Earth Design, by Amy Stewart. Heaven and Earth charted it. It is the supersized max color because I'm a nut. So there's that. I actually got this in a puzzle this year for my birthday as well, which is really fun. And I am starting over here with that deer. You can't see it, but anyways, it's the kind of North American mammal section. So there is the deer. A deer butt. That's where I am so far. I'm at not very far. 0.29% of 764,000 stitches. Yeah, this one is not getting very far. So that is, I believe, all the things I have stitching right now, current WIPs. I have several more things that I have gotten recently that I would love to start at some point. I don't have them into Pattern Keeper yet. Oh, I've got them on my phone. So there has been some drama. Well, there's been some interesting conversations happening over the last couple of years. And it's kind of hard to talk about, hard to find the words of how to say this. Was watching a video that Darling Bluebell, I believe, she's a stitcher over in Denmark, I think, did about art and artificial intelligence and cross-stitching and how those things all kind of go together. And it really brought it home to me of like, okay, how can I make sure that the art that I'm buying, because when I buy a cross-stitch pattern, I've always wanted to make sure that I'm supporting the artist and buying an actual pattern, just where part of those royalties go back to an actual artist and is not a ripoff of that artist and it's just the company trying to sell it, or it's not a art that's been made out of what's called AI art, which is really they're going out and scouring, the AI itself is going out and kind of scouring the web and just grabbing all the images. And so there's no permissions and there's no royalties paid to these artists for these images. And so people say, oh, it's just made with Adobe Photoshop or whatever. But honestly, those things come from somewhere. It doesn't just appear out of thin air. Those images that it's creating started from somewhere. Darling Bluebell has a much better explanation for all of that than I just did. And she works in the industry as well, so I feel like she has a better understanding of it. So for me, it was just, I really wanted to make sure that the patterns I was buying in the future would be non-AI art, and that the patterns that I already have that I wasn't sure on, that I wasn't going to start. So I have some of those that I'm like, I'm not quite sure. So then the second part of that is, unfortunately, it seems like several pattern charting companies have chosen to include AI art in the things that they design and chart. And it seems like they're also kind of pushing out artists that we all know and love, and that we have, worked on their designs for years. And unfortunately, that's what's been happening. Heaven and Earth Designs is one of those that a lot of it is hearsay and secondhand and third hand, but from how it seems, and it's very obvious that they are using some AI art, and that's the direction they've chosen to go. And as a consumer, I can choose where I'm going to put my purchasing money, and that's like that's part of the open market, is you can choose what you're going to do. For me, that's what I'm choosing. So a lot of these patterns that I've said, oh, I haven't worked on this much, oh, I haven't, it's because I'm like, I'm not sure how many of these Heaven and Earth Designs pieces I want to continue to work on. There's some of them, reading time for sure, that I want to finish. Some of these other ones, working on them is leaving a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Even though I love the art that I purchased from there, I enjoy the artist, because it's now associated with that in my head, it's not as fun to stitch on. So I've been stitching on other things, like things from Paine Free Crafts, Unconventional cross stitch, places like that. There's also Artisy. I know they do have some AI. They are I think they are saying, this is an AI piece in the caption, so that you can choose whether or not you're going to purchase it. Cross Stitch Studio might be in that same boat. So honestly, I really am trying to stay mostly to the companies that choose to not chart AA art at all. I believe there's also Contemporary Cross. And I have a chart of hers and I haven't started it yet, but I want to keep, so anyways, what I'm saying is for me, I'm trying to continue to support those designers, and I need to finish up here because kids will be home very quickly. So here's a couple things that I've gotten recently that I just think are amazing. This is Raven 2 artwork by Joanna Barnum. That is from Unconventional Cross Stitch. It's this, I can't even, sorry, the color is not great on this. It's kind of this gorgeous purpley blue with some greens in it. It's much more green than it's showing up there. Anyways, it's really, really gorgeous. This one is called Tea Time by Omar Ryan. No idea if I'm saying that name right. Excuse the pronunciation. And it is this super awesome dragon having a tea party with a little girl. Just like the quirk of it is amazing to me. Then from Paine, is this Pain Free Crafts? I think it is. Rose Kahn went over to Pain Free Crafts, and like everybody seems to be currently, I got Cozy Winter Book Nook, excuse me, and then also Dragon Race into the Night. Sorry, these are not showing up well. Not in my face, look at that. Anyways, there's dragons. It's kind of day to night. You can't tell at all on my phone. I'm really sorry. Anyways, those are some things that I'm looking at. So some of those I may be starting, and honestly, I may just focus on working more on reading time and my Oasis Turtle one from Unconventional Cross Stitch, because I really like that one. And just kind of stitch on the things that I have enough projects going. I don't need any more, right? But part of the fun of this hobby is that we always find new artists, new places to purchase from. Anyways, those are the things I have to show you for today. Last little thing, just because I love them still so much, and it's the same thing as before. These are my needle threaders. It's called the Clover Yarn Threader, and then I have it attached to this cutesy little doohickey, only because that thing is magnetic and sticks to my needle minders. So then I don't lose my needle threader. I have like 5 of these because I use them all the time. And that's all, and I hear kids thundering in the door, so I'm going to turn this off. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope to see you next time. Bye.